My name's Kalen, and last summer I went hiking alone on the Appalachian Trail near Asheville, North Carolina. I just needed to get away, you know? Life was a mess, work sucked, and I hadn't slept right in weeks. Hiking's my thing, so I packed my bag, forgot my extra socks, of course, and hit the trail. It was quiet at first, just me and the trees. But, yeah, it didn't stay that way. I'd been out there a couple days, taking it slow. My knees were killing me from these old boots I should have replaced. Anyway, I started hearing stuff, like faint yells or cries. I thought maybe it was birds or some dumb kids messing around, but it kept going, and it didn't sound right. I brushed it off, kept walking, but I couldn't shake this weird feeling. Then I saw them, a group of teens, maybe 10 of them, with 2 adults. Looked like counselors or something. I figured it was one of those programs for troubled kids, right? I'd heard of that stuff, but these kids, they didn't look okay. They were skinny, pale, like they hadn't eaten in days. The adults were barking orders, and one kid flinched every time they raised their voice. I stayed back, hiding behind some bushes, because I didn't want to get involved. I watched for a bit, and man, it got worse. I heard one counselor say, "You'll thank us when you're fixed." Fixed? What the hell? The kids weren't talking back. They just stood there, shaking. I crept closer, trying to see what was up, and that's when I noticed a girl with this empty look in her eyes, like she'd given up. Then it hit me hard. They had these teens lined up, no coats, even though it was freezing out there. One counselor was yelling, screaming, really, making them shout stuff like, "I'm nothing," over and over. A boy dropped to his knees, and the guy just kicked dirt at him. I saw another kid's hands, raw, like they'd been digging or something. This wasn't help. This was torture. I fumbled for my phone. I had to get proof, right? I started snapping pictures, hands all shaky. But then, oh crap, one of the counselors turned and saw me. He yelled, "Who's there, you fucker?" I panicked, dropped my phone, and bolted. I could hear him crashing through the woods after me. My heart was racing, and I kept tripping over roots. I dove behind a rock and just waited, barely breathing. After a while, it got quiet. I peeked out. He was gone. I grabbed my phone, screen cracked, but it still worked, and hightailed it back to the trail. I didn't stop till I got to a ranger station near Knoxville, Tennessee. I told the ranger everything, showed him the pictures. He squinted at me like I was nuts and said, "Programs like that run all the time. You sure?" The photos were blurry, useless. He said he'd check, but I could tell he wouldn't. I couldn't stop thinking about those kids. Weeks later, I saw online that some program got busted. Abuse, deaths covered up as accidents. Same area. Rich parents paid big money for it, thinking it'd fix their kids. Made me sick. I still hear those yells sometimes when it's quiet at night. My old floor creaks like someone's pacing. I should have done more, but I was scared, you know? What if they'd caught me? I wonder how many other places like that are out there, tucked away where no one hears. This happened last summer, out on a trail near Asheville, North Carolina. Me and my buddy Cale, we'd hit this path in the Blue Ridge Mountains a bunch before. It's quiet, you know? Just trees, birds, and this old water pump near the trailhead. I'm not some fancy writer, so bear with me. This shit's hard to talk about. It started normal. Me and Cale, we packed light, some water, granola bars, my beat-up phone with no signal half the time. The trail was muddy from rain, and my boots kept slipping. Cale was whining about his new sneakers getting ruined, said they cost him $100. I laughed, told him to quit being a baby. But something felt weird that day. Like, I kept hearing twigs snap behind us, but when I turned, nothing. Just leaves swaying. I figured it was a deer or something, but I don't know, my gut was nagging me. We got to the water pump around noon. It's this rusty thing, creaks like hell when you pump it. Cale filled his bottle, took a big gulp, then spit it out. "Tastes like metal," he said. I tried it too, and yeah, it was off, kinda bitter. We shrugged it off, used our own water instead. Later, at the rest stop bathroom, I noticed this weird residue on the sink. Like, slimy. I washed my hands quick, but my skin felt itchy after. Kale said he felt queasy too, but we thought it was just the heat. Then we saw this guy, tall, lanky, wearing a gray hoodie. He was lingering near the bathroom, holding a first aid kit, offering bandages to hikers coming out. Said some folks got sick from the water lately. I took a bandage for a blister, but his eyes, man, they were too focused, like he was studying me. Kale whispered he saw the guy picking up a hairbrush from the sink after some lady left. Weird as fuck, right? I told Kale to chill, but I was starting to feel watched. That night, back in Asheville, I couldn't sleep. My stomach was off and my head was pounding. I kept thinking about that guy. Next week, I got a random email, some health survey asking about my hiking habits, weirdly specific stuff, like if I used the trail pump. I ignored it, but then Kale called, freaking out. He'd gotten a package, some medical swab kit pre-addressed to send back saliva samples. It had his name on it. How'd they know his name? I started digging online and, God, it's messed up. Found this forum post about hikers in the Blue Ridge getting sick, then getting these creepy health kits. Some guy claimed the water pumps were spiked, not enough to kill you, just to make you sick. Then these helpful people show up, collecting your spit, hair, whatever, with their fake first aid crap. They're selling it, man, DNA, to companies doing sketchy genetic experiments, or worse, people building profiles to stalk you, blackmail you. They want healthy hikers' genes, because we're prime for their sick longevity research. Then it hit me. I'd been feeling off for months, every time I hike that trail. My DNA, it's out there. Someone's got it. I got another email last week, anonymous, saying they made a custom virus just for me, using my genes. I laughed it off at first, but now I'm coughing, and it won't stop. Kyle's been getting weird calls too, someone breathing heavy, then hanging up. I don't hike anymore. Can't trust it. I keep my curtains shut, check my locks twice. My neighbor's dog barks at nothing sometimes, and it makes my heart race. I don't know who's got my DNA, or what they're doing with it. All I know is, I'm not safe, and maybe you aren't either. My name's Alex, I'm 19, living in this small apartment in Austin, Texas. I got this old couch that creaks every time I sit on it, drives my dog Rusty nuts. Me and my friend Elton, we're into hiking, right? Last June, we hit this trail called Blackthorn Ridge near Asheville, North Carolina. Drove all the way from Texas for it. Elton's got this fancy backpack, new trekking poles, posted it all on social media with his wilderness first aid cert. Thought it was badass. Now I wish he'd kept it offline. We're deep in the trail, maybe 3 miles in, joking about how we didn't bring enough snacks. It's all quiet, just wind and birds. Then, this weird groan, like someone's hurt. My stomach flips. Elton's like, "Yo, you hear that?" I nod, kinda freaked. We follow it, find this dude, calls himself Travis, lying there, legs soaked in blood, moaning, says he slipped on rocks. He's begging us to help, all shaky. I'm no medic, but Elton's trained, so he drops his pack, starts checking the guy's leg. I'm just standing there, feeling off. The blood, it looks too bright, like fake Halloween stuff. Travis's eyes, they're weird, too alert for someone in pain. I whisper to Elton, "Man, this ain't right." He's like, "Chill, Alex, you're overthinking." But I catch a shadow moving in the trees, quick, like someone's watching. My hands get clammy. I try to laugh it off, say it's probably a squirrel, but my gut's screaming to leave. Travis keeps talking, says he's been stuck here for hours, phone's dead, but I notice 2 water bottles in his bag. Why, if he's alone? I tug Elton's sleeve like, we should go get help. Travis's face twists, all mean. "You're not going anywhere," he growls. That's when I hear branches snap. 2 big guys step out, holding knives, smirking. My knees go weak. Elton's still got his hands on the fake wound, frozen. It hits me. They set this up. They saw Elton's posts, knew he had pricey gear, knew he'd stop to help because of his training. I read about hikers disappearing around Asheville, ones with med skills or fancy equipment. These guys, they're pros at this, picking spots with no cell signal, using fake blood and acting to trap do-gooders. They've been at it for months, probably. I'm kicking myself for not seeing it sooner. One of the guys laughs, says, "Give us the gear or you're fucked." Elton tries talking, stuttering, but they don't care. I'm looking for an out, but we're cornered. Panicking, I grab a rock and chuck it at the closest dude. It smacks his arm. He yells, pissed. Elton bolts, and I'm right behind, branches scratching my face. They chase us, shouting. I trip on a root, heart hammering, thinking we're done. We duck behind a rock, barely breathing, hearing their boots crunch closer. Somehow, they give up, maybe scared we'd make it to the road. We stumble back to the car, shaking, not talking. When I got home, Rusty was barking like crazy, probably smelled my fear. My smoke alarm kept chirping that night, made me jumpy. I keep thinking, how many didn't get away? Cops found nothing, no trace of those guys. I lock my doors 3 times now, always checking. Elton sold his gear. We don't hike anymore. That trail, it's like it's still waiting for us.